I met Mark at the Tiger. We met as best friends and we've been partners for the 15 years. And the whole world knows that we're so in love. We would do anything for each other. And the thing that I love about Mark is he's himself. He always used to say, Sal's a diamond and I love her. Mark was a shy person and he wouldn't normally speak up about things, but when he'd been seeing me for a long time, I noticed that he spoke up more about things that were important. When it came to 2021, Mark started to be poorly, but I didn't want to admit it to myself, or I didn't want to really admit it in front of Mark. He had quite a few falls, and Mark was told he had advanced sclerosis of the liver. When he was told, make the most of your time now, Mark was like, am I going to see my 50th birthday? And the consultant said, unfortunately, I don't think that you will. On the 4th of March 2022, there was a meeting in our house with a social worker, health professionals, in front of me and Mark. And the nurse said, Mark, I think that you should move into a nursing home, because at home you're not getting the care, are you, that you need. So we felt that a meeting was going ahead, but they were talking at Mark and about Mark, but not to him. It just caused myself and Mark more anxiety, because what they were saying was very worrying for both of us. We didn't feel like our voices were heard because we've got a learning disability, or even the fact that Mark was very, very shy was noticed. They took the power away from Mark. Mark was admitted to hospital on the 5th of March. I knew it would end in a tragedy because the ambulance man said, Sally, you can't go with Mark because of COVID. Further into the month, Mark became poorlier. I had a chat with Mark. He said, just something wrong, I just seem like really warm. So the next day, his mum rang the hospital to see if he had COVID or not. They say that he didn't. The nurse says, Mark's been sick with stress. And I was thinking, no. So the Wednesday night, I got a phone call at 11 o'clock. And the doctor said, Mark's blood pressure has dropped frighteningly low. His SATs have dropped frighteningly low. Mark could die. The doctor rang me back at 2:30 in the morning to say, look, you need to get down here. I felt like I was in a horror movie. They moved Mark into a private room. A nurse came in the room to see, basically, if Mark was going over the rainbow or not. And then somebody in the room said, don't cry, Sally. And then when Mark died, my heart stopped, and like time as well just froze. There was something in me that didn't want to leave the room at all. I wish he could have spoken to me. So I've thought ever since, what would Mark have said to me? Would he have said, I love you, Sal, just let me be with my dad now? I've had days ever since where I thought, nah, Mark's not died. That was just a nightmare, what we went through that morning. And then I wouldn't get the phone call from him. And then as time went on, I thought, God, it's true. I have like days where I think, no, it isn't. It's just out there somewhere. And then I have like other days where I think, yeah, it's true. What keeps my heart going is the memory of us being together. The fact that we were together for 15 years, our fabulous photos and the times that we've spent together, that's what keeps me going.